Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Fake Therapy. Oh, my goodness, it's good to be back. I have missed you more than you've missed me, maybe. But I don't know. I feel like I kind of owe some kind of explanation, maybe, of my absence. And I don't know. I don't want to be like too dramatic about it because it doesn't have to be like a dramatic thing, but like, I don't know, like things can get overwhelming, and even day to day things that are supposed to be like normal things that normal people are supposed to do get overwhelming sometimes. And I don't know. I feel like for a second there, I needed to like stop what I was doing and focus on just like day to day stuff that's supposed to like give me balance and happiness. Not saying that I was like necessarily like unhappy, but like overwhelmed is probably a better way to describe it. I've been like less active since like COVID stuff too, which, yeah, I don't know. Just making excuses, I guess, in general, of why not to work on creative stuff because I don't know. I just feel like there were other aspects of my life that needed more focus. And like I said, like regular day to day stuff, like work, like money, my home setup, my relationships, rest, just making sure that like all of those things were in check before I could give extra time to something like a podcast, which is a stupid excuse, really, because you deserve like a break from those things to enjoy yourself and be creative, and you like deserve to give yourself access and all of those things. But I don't know. I just sometimes these things are hard. Like as it's like I need to work, but I should only work so much, or I'm not working enough, and I'm not making money in like something that is important, or I should be doing this, or like I said, like keeping rest in check with that too. Like rest is also important, and resting your mind and your body, not to be like fucking corny or anything, but like I can't just work all the time. It's not all about money. I also have to like make sure my body is okay and that I'm taking care of my body. And relationships, like I don't even mean that in like only a romantic relationship, but like your relationships with your friends, and I guess professional relationships too, making sure all those things are like right and okay. And felt like there were parts of that like needed work. And I just want to say that if you feel like you're someone that like gets overwhelmed by simple daily tasks, like I said, that apparently normal people are supposed to be able to handle all at once, you shouldn't feel bad. It's totally normal to like feel like it's all too much and you need to like just take a break, okay? Like maybe let's normalize the breaks, and let's also normalize that relationships in our life with our romantic partners, our families, our friends are all well maintained, okay? Because all of my friends and my partner, I have had relationships with these people for a long time. They're all long-term people in my life. And I think to like keep those relationships good and golden and pure, something that's really important to me, it takes like actual work. And not like work where I'm like, oh my God, I'm so uncomfortable because I'm like having to work my ass off right now. But just like relationships deserve presence. And I felt maybe I just needed to like focus on what's happening in my presence. I need to be present and focus on what's happening in the present. Because you can get so caught up in like your past and what's going to happen in your future, but like you also need to focus on what's happening right now. And yeah, these relationships that I've had for a long time are precious, and they don't always come easy. Like, don't beat yourself up if you feel like you're bad at relationships, or you're not good at keeping friends or having friends or meeting friends, or if you feel like you're bad at making professional relationships, because it's like super hard. It really is. Like, there are definitely ups and downs to these things, and you just have to be mindful. Like, I don't know. And they don't always come so easy. You have to be mindful, and you have to check in, and you have to set boundaries. And I know it sounds like I'm being very vague right now, but it's just, I'm trying to relate this to everybody listening. You know, me and my friends have had ups and downs, and I feel like I'm really focusing on like what I need from my friends and my love life and what they need from me. And I feel better about balancing that out. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's something that's really important. So yeah, be present. Make sure the people around you feel supported by you and feel loved by you, and that the people that you love know that you see them, I guess. Yeah. Not to make that weird or anything, but yeah, these are all very normal things that I just feel that needed my focus and needed well, it is divided among a bunch of daily things, but that they needed my focus a little bit more. And I'm like, I don't know. I just needed to focus on my present life, I guess. And I don't know why I had to make that hard and like ignore my creative outlets for a second, but I just felt like I did. I do feel better financially and work-wise, as far as like making sure I'm not working too much, making sure that I'm making time for like fun and, you know, going out with my friends and going on dates, and making sure my best friend feels confident and powerful, and making sure my partner feels loved, like the first few months of us romantically being involved, you know. It seems like I'm talking about relationships a lot, but I just think it's important that people in your present life feel like they're not just pieces of furniture in your life. And it's really easy to like get distracted and not work on those relationships. It's so easy to like let people come in and out of your life. And I've been thinking about that a lot too. For example, like I remember like a few years ago, I was at Walmart and I was like crossing the street. This was in my hometown. I was crossing the street at Walmart and I saw this guy with his girlfriend, this guy who I was like best friends with in high school, like really close friends. We would hang out like every day of the week. He's been to my house, met my family. I've met his family. I know his sister. We would like crack up all day, every day, tell the funniest jokes together. But like something like we just are not friends anymore because like neither of us made the effort to maintain the relationship, I guess. And literally we both crossed the street, looked at each other and like didn't say a word. Like I didn't say hey to him and he didn't say hey to me. But he saw me. And also like his girlfriend, I also know her, but she like didn't say hey to me either, which she doesn't know me. I mean, she knows me, but she doesn't know me like that well. I don't know. He knew me really well, but we haven't talked in so long, and like we just didn't say hey. And something about that is like really sad and weird to me. So like also too like even like old. I mean, we're gonna let that relationship go, that friendship go, but yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was super weird, and I don't want to experience that again. I feel like anytime now, if I see a friend that I have like fond memories with, I want to be like, hey, what's up? Dude, what is up? How are you? I want to know how you are. And I'm so glad that I can see you. And yeah, I just am really about making people feel loved lately. People that I really love. I don't love a lot of people. So, I don't know. I don't even know why I'm talking about that right now. Anyway, I don't know. Just like super analyzing my life, I guess, in general, and realizing that I'm a grown up too. Oh my God. I've recently turned 27 years old. That means I'm a grown up. I'm a woman in her late 20s. Isn't that crazy? And I just think about like, am I the kind of grown up that like I want to be, you know? And like, I think too about like adult, well, not even adult, like role models that we had whenever we were kids, and like how that maybe shaped us or influenced us or like gave us an idea of like what a grown up is supposed to be like. Like I remember moving into my house that became like our family house, basically. It's still my family's house. And I was maybe like I was like 4 or 5 when I moved there. And I remember this girl was my neighbor named Amber. Amber lived with like her mom and dad and her big brother. And she was probably like 15 years old. Anyway, she was like nice to me, I guess. I don't know how this happened, but I eventually developed like somewhat of a friendship with her where I would like go to her house and like my mom wasn't there. I mean, it's right next door, but like it's a 15-year-old hanging out with like a 5-year-old. And like that could have been really bad, but she was like such a good girl. Amber was like really good in school. She was a good girl. I remember going to her room and she had all these trophies of like, I don't even know what, a combination of like sports and like being really smart. And she was also like a pretty girl and she had like really cute clothes. And she was like, I guess took me under her wing of almost like a little big sister. I was gonna say little big sister role. Cause she's like 15, like she's a little fucking girl, right? But I'm a little girl. And I don't know, I just hung out with her and like, I just really admired her in general because she was, first of all, older than me. I think all young kids look up to people that are just older than them and they're automatically cool. Anyway, so there was that. And then she also had like really cute clothes. And I remember sometimes she would give me clothes, her clothes she didn't want. And I was like, oh my God, this is like such a gift, a treasure. I cannot believe I'm wearing this older girl's cute ass clothes. Ah, so in love. And I was like, also, I can't believe I'm friends with a 15-year-old. Me, a 5-year-old? Yeah. So I don't know. I remember too, like she gave me this outfit of like really short shorts and like honestly like a bra, like a sports bra kind of thing. But on me, I guess it just looks like an ultra short tank crop top. Still a little much for like a 5-year-old that, you know. But anyway, she gave me that. And the very next day I went to her house wearing one of the outfits she gave me. And everyone was like, oh, and I was like, oh my God, she's going to think that I'm like so cool. I'm like wearing her clothes. And I was wearing like some inappropriate stuff, honestly. But she was a good girl. And I just think like, I wonder if she knew like how much I like wanted to be her. Oh man, I wanted to be her, and I wanted to be just like a teenager so bad when I was a kid. I don't think I really wanted to be, I guess I knew there was going to be like a grown-up version, but I like the teen aspect of it was really attractive to me. And I just think of like, does she know that? She probably did. She's probably like, this little kid's obsessed with me. And also, too, like the pressure of like that a child or anybody like putting you on a pedestal, you know, it's a lot. I think she handled it really well. But me as a 15-year-old, if I had some little kid like trying to be around me and like trying to be like, oh, I'm going to look to her to be like and see like what I should be like, not good. I was not the 15-year-old to be shadowing, because that's probably like around that time as a teenager, I was like at my worst. So I would have not been I was not a teen like Amber was. I wasn't. But I still remember her. Am I anything like Amber? Or was I when I became a teen myself? Maybe like I liked looking cute like Amber did. That's really about it. I had never gotten a trophy in my life. I've never excelled academically. I don't play any sports. Where I just got maybe the want to look cute from her. And I guess she was very nice. I'm also a very nice girl, I think, you know? So yeah. Also, too, another thing I've been thinking about is like, am I as a 27-year-old who I hoped I would be when I was a kid, like the kid version of me, thinking about, oh, what am I going to be like when I'm that age? Am I meeting her expectations? In a lot of ways, yes. Like I may go on about how all these things are like getting to me and how all of these things are like overwhelming me when, like if I think back to what I expected of myself 20 years ago, wait, 20 years ago? Yeah, I was 7 years old, okay? 20 years ago, I was 7 years old. Oh, God, so crazy. And yeah, a lot of ways, yes, okay? Like, when I was 7, I was like, thought of myself as like the ugly girl, kind of. I was like a little ethnic girl in like a sea of like white blonde girls. So that alone, I felt very ugly. I didn't see anybody that looked like me. Also, too, because, you know, of like the not fully Asian aspect. Like there was like a couple like fully Asian girls. No, I didn't know any other Filipinas though. Only like Chinese, Japanese that I can remember at my school, and a lot of white girls and a couple Middle Eastern girls. Anyway, anyone ethnic was like not pretty when at that time. I mean, it was like the early 2000s, right? We're all looking at like Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie. Nicole Richie presents very white, okay? So if you don't look really white, I guess you're not pretty, you know? Like, I felt like that's how a lot of us felt. So I felt like the ugly girl. I also was like very shy, and I don't know, like very in a shell. So I think part of me would be like, well, no, a huge part of me would be so proud of how 27-year-old me like is creative. First of all, like I'm a freaking podcaster. And I've like, you know, dipped my toes in other creative like content producing things that I think kid version of Maria would be so stoked on. Two, I have a boyfriend. I have a boyfriend that I have had for a long time, that we love each other. We have a house together and a cute cat together. That's our baby. And we love each other, and he's alt. She would love that. Three, I am funny and like more bubbly and I'm charismatic, and I'm not as shy to like show my personality as much as I was as a child, and I don't know. Did I mention? Oh yeah, I did. The pretty thing. I got prettier. I mean, yeah, that was literally the first thing I mentioned. Why is it all about looks? It's not all about looks, I'm trying to get a little bit deeper than that sometimes. But yeah. I just think there are a lot of things that she would be proud of, okay? Little me would be proud of. So when I find moments of like being really hard on myself, I just try to think of like that simple idea, and like something about it makes me feel a little better, okay? If it works for me, don't hate on it. Don't laugh at it. That's just what works for me, okay? And also, I feel like I'm mature for my age. I'm a little childish in some ways, but in a lot of ways, I am also mature and I am wise. And take that for what you will. But that's what I believe. I believe in myself most of the time, maybe like 75% of the time, which is a lot compared to like where I used to be. Even like teenage Maria too would be like really proud of me, of like coming a long way. Like I said, being in a healthy relationship, having close friends that are like true friends that I seriously trust with my life. They're basically my sisters. I'm like doing good. I could take care of myself and I'm independent, okay? I remember one thing as a kid thinking about is like, I know I'm a kid, right? And I know that I can't like do whatever I want, but that's something that really, really bothered me. And I remember feeling as a kid that I was literally like a caged animal a lot of the time. I felt like a caged animal, not being able to like make as many choices as I wanted to, or just like being able to worry about myself. I don't know. There's always been a weird part of me that's like wanted that so bad. And I feel like I have that freedom as an adult. I've kind of built that for myself and built that security for myself that I can do that and make my own choices. And woo, really, that deserves a pat on the back. And if you are in the same boat, good for you, We should be proud of ourselves more often. We should not be hard on ourselves because it's going to hold us back, okay? And I'm so tired of it. I don't want these anxieties to like hold you back. You know what I mean? I was at work one day, and I work at a hair salon, and I was doing this guy's haircut, and there was a woman behind me cutting the gentleman of teenage age. He was like a teenager. He was maybe like 15, maybe like trying to get his license, learning to get his license. And he was talking about how he has so much anxiety and he is like learning to drive and he hates it. And she was like, yeah, I have a lot of anxiety driving too. And I'm telling you, if you have any kind of anxiety, you should not be on the road. And I'm like, damn. Is that such a damaging message to send to a teenage kid trying to drive, that if he has any kind of anxiety, that he could not possibly push through it and like grow from that and like eventually be able to drive? Like, I used to be scared to drive too, bitch, on the interstate. And like now I'm driving on the interstate more often to like go see friends and do fun stuff. And now it's not that big of a deal anymore, dude. Like, what? We should be encouraging him to get on the road and drive and not make him feel like just because he has anxiety that he's incapable of driving and that he doesn't deserve to drive places. Like, he deserves the independent feeling of like being able to drive himself places. And I was just so almost disgusted by what she said to him. And I was like, oh man, hope he doesn't take that seriously, like, he might use that as an excuse to never drive, which you could have anxiety driving. If you specifically have a crippling anxiety of driving, like maybe you don't have to get in the car, but don't convince somebody that because they have any kind of anxiety that they shouldn't be on the road. That's not true. There's so many people with anxiety who are managing their anxiety to get on the road and get where they need to be. And he could do it too. I hope that he doesn't listen to her. She should not have said that. Uh, have I been to real therapy? No. No, I haven't. I still haven't yet. And I've talked about how I've wanted to. I've never been in someone's presence to like assess me like that ever. And it also stems from like not wanting to ask for help ever. That's the issue, you know? Like I go on and on and on about how I'm like independent and shit, but like that part's an issue. If you need help, you should ask for help and not be afraid to reach out for help. So yeah, I think eventually I should make it into that therapist office and just discuss some things. I don't know. If not for like good maintenance and like normalizing therapy and not making it such a big issue. And anyone who, I mean, not saying I'm like shit or anything, but anyone who might like look up to me or like feels influenced by me to think, wow, I've been thinking about going to therapy too. She did it. Like, I should do it too because like she's making it look so normal and like it's not a big deal and it shouldn't be a big deal. Anyway, I feel like maybe just for good maintenance, it might be good. And I also want to, like I said, encourage others around me to get help if they feel like they need to. But there's also the issue of the money, baby. The money is so expensive, baby, expensive. And I looked at that BetterHelp place and I like went through the whole like consultation. BetterHelp is like an online therapist website or whatever where like you do a consultation and then they like hook you up with a therapist or whatever. And then you see that person weekly, blah, 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 online. Yeah. So I heard enough commercials about it that I was like, let me check it out. And I did the whole consultation and they were like, it's going to be like this much a month every week. And I was like, that's kind of too much. I'm not going to continue with the sign-up process, honestly. And so it was like a week or two that passed and they emailed me again. They were like, hey, we noticed that you like signed up halfway, bitch. Like, do you want to do it? Because we'll give you this discount. And it was like maybe like $5 off. And I was like, oh, wow. But like, nah, maybe not still. I was still like hesitant, very hesitant. And then maybe a couple weeks passed and they sent me like a very similar email again. And they were like, please, we'll give you this much off. And by that time, I think it was like $40 a week. But let me also explain to you another anxiety of mine that is spending money. I have anxiety over spending money and like I said, the security thing of like having security for myself and like, I guess for just like people that depend on me too, I'm not only taking care of myself, like I have a partner and we take care of each other too, like, so the security thing is like a thing for me and like spending money and yeah, I just talked myself out of it. And then I heard a lot of people saying that like BetterHelp is like not really the move or like, not that it's not the move, but like that people had complaints about it, So I was like, I don't know, making excuses, I guess. But I think it's great if you go. I think that I'm so proud of you. I wish that I could be like you. Seriously. I wish if you go to therapy, I wish I could be like you so bad you don't even know. And that's like a life goal of mine, honestly. To open up and ask for help, okay? I'll work on it. It's like another one of my day-to-day things that I'm going to work on, okay? All right. Let's see. What else? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm trying to bring the show back. And like I said, I do apologize for the absence. But I figured, a break's a break. And as long as you get up again and you try to get going again, that's all that matters, okay? So I don't know. Like, it can be awkward at times too. Like, I feel like towards the last few episodes I did, of Fake Therapy podcast, I felt like I was like having to beg people to like come on the show, which kind of made me feel bad. And like, and also too, I was like, oh, this person's already been on, so maybe I should like try to get other new guests and stuff, and just overthinking that a lot when it shouldn't be that big of a deal. And I don't know, I don't know. So I just stopped asking people, I guess. Because like I said, it could be awkward. Like even when people are like, what is the show about? And I'm like, okay, fake therapy is basically where you and I kind of like brainstorm on some topic or story from like maybe your life or my life that we could bond about, or like a story that we can tell that, has a therapeutic message about like mental health or just stuff that people go through or want to talk about or want to feel like they're not alone in feeling or experiencing. And it's kind of like weird for me to explain that sometimes. And then too, like someone will be like, hey, I really want to be on the podcast. And they're like, what should we talk about? And they're asking me. And I'm like, God, I don't know. Like, you can kind of refer back to other episodes, and it's pretty broad of like stuff that we've talked about here, like, like bullying and like your sexuality and, like baby daddy stuff and ex stuff and things that our mom made us feel or things that our dads didn't do, and just whatever you want to talk about, like I am a great listener, and I just want to hear about it. And I have stuff I want to talk about too. I don't know. I'll talk about some of this all day long. In my later age, I'm a rambler, I'll just gab with you, And I just think it's like weird for me, like not that it's weird of you, but it's weird for me whenever someone's like, what should I talk about? And I'm like, I don't know. Like also too, like all these people become my friends. So it's like my friend, not to be like cheesy, but I feel like it's true. I feel like all these people that have like been through and like been on my podcast and like taken the time to like support my show too, I'm so thankful for. And like, we're all homies. Seriously. I genuinely feel that way. Seriously. So maybe I do love a lot of people. I guess I do love a lot of people. Anyway, so yeah, they are important to me, and I don't want to make them uncomfortable, and I don't want to. I have this fear that I was like exploiting people, or like, you know what I mean? I don't know if that sounds more serious than it is, but just like, I'm not going to beg someone to like tell this traumatic story from their life that they're not comfortable talking about, or making it feel like I'm like one of these white knights about mental health and mental illness, because I'm not. Okay, I'm just talking about what I think and how I feel and how other people feel. And that's really it. I'm not like a professional, or like, I'm seriously so uneducated that I have no right almost. So it's a very thin line of like going too far. And I want to be very mindful of that, Like if someone's like, what should I talk about? And I'm like, why don't you talk about how your grandma killed your whole family? Because I heard about that. Like, that'd be really wrong of me. That'd be insane, Like, that's got to come from you. What do you want to talk about, okay? Don't ask me what you should talk about. I don't know. So I don't know. Let's go by this. Let's go by feelings. Let's talk about all the feelings: happy, sad, angry, resentful, jealous, spiteful. And let's come up with an experience you had that made you feel that way. And let's talk about that for like an hour and a half. Okay? That is what fake therapy is supposed to be about. All right? And that's what we're going to do. And we're going to have fun. And we're going to make new friends. And everybody's welcomed. You know, I don't want to say everybody because I don't want people spreading hate. Okay? But I don't know. Let's just like gab a little, you know? Let's talk about our feelings because that's all I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about like what you do for a living or like where you went to college, or I really hate all questions like that, or anybody trying to catch up with me with that format of questions. But if you want to talk about like some childhood trauma shit, yeah, sure, let's do it. You know, it's just me, you know, I'm not going to judge you, or, you know, I might say that's freaking crazy, but I just made it in like from a friend, you know. I've done some crazy things too, and I feel some crazy things, and I've said some crazy things, and not every thought or thing I say or thing I do is completely rational, and I don't always know why I'm doing them or feeling them, but, you know, we can talk about it, and if it makes someone listening feel a little less lonely, that's really what it's all about. If you ever feel like you need to talk to a friend, you could always just turn this on and maybe feel like you have a friend with you, chilling with you. And that's all I want to really embody by doing this podcast. And I just want you to know that I welcome you. And I'm so looking forward to having you hit me up and telling me you want to be on the show and being my best friend. My best friend's gonna be really mad I said that. Just kidding. So yeah, this has been Fake Therapy with Maria Womack. Love you so much, miss you so much, and I hope to be hearing from you soon.